So, I woke up at the crack of dawn, did the usual, getting ready stuff, opened the door, locked the door, most importantly, opened my car, got in the car, glove 1, glove 2, and we're off. And off to college. Here I am, folks, made it to college, and even if I do say so myself, a very perfect drive. Well done to me. Opened the door, went in blustery conditions, and now, just like that, I'm back home. I'm just going to sit and chat to you about the big 2 games coming up this week for Dunfermline. Of course, the weekend's fixture against Partick Thistle was postponed, and that was a bit of a downer, really. I was looking forward to getting back to supporting Dunfermline, and that did put a bit of a dampener on the weekend, especially when the backup game that we went to, Hamilton versus Motherwell, Lanarkshire Derby, ended up being one of the worst games of football I've pretty much ever seen in my life, and it was a 0-0 draw to go on top of that. Not even a wee goal to make it half decent. 0-0 draw, terrible game of football. I said it was a great substitute for the fact that Dunfermline's game was postponed, but it ended up being the exact opposite of that. The worst possible substitute that you could ever bring on. A Robbie Muirhead type substitute. Never forget that he's a Fraud FC member, folks. However, moving on to this week's games. Midweek, tomorrow night, Dunfermline versus Inverness Caledonian Thistle at East End Park. A big game. A big game for both teams. Inverness looking to push on and finish second this season, where they have spent the majority of the time this season. They've never really fallen out of the promotion playoffs at all this season, which is testament to them and how decent a season they've had. They're just off the back of playing Dundee United in a Friday night fixture that was on the telly. I watched it. I thought Inverness are a very hard team to beat, and that goes with the fact that we haven't beaten them this season. So it'll be a difficult task, no doubt about that. But there is a slight wee caveat to it all, that Inverness do indeed have their Scottish Cup quarter-final, I think it is, against Hibs coming up. Maybe they've got one eye on that sort of fixture coming up. I really hope they do, because even though no doubt they would love to get back into the Premier League, I would really hope that Dunfermline can get 3 points in this fixture and make a big case to at least get that 4th place playoff spot, if not anything above that, because if we win this game, we're only 2 points behind Inverness, and then it's anyone's game after that point, because there's a lot of teams that are in and around this area at the moment. You've got your Dundee, Ayr, Inverness, even Arbroath pulling up trees this season, really doing well, and what a fantastic job Dick Campbell is doing there, as I've said so many times on this channel. But because of all those teams being clustered about in that sort of area, you need to take your chances to get points against these teams when you can get them, when they're offered to you. And for Dunfermline this week, Dundee United, you just kind of write that fixture off before it, and then if you get anything, it's a bonus, and that's how I'm going to look at that fixture. But as I said, Inverness fixture, it has to be that we go into it feeling positive about it all, and go in having not played football in 3.5 weeks, pretty much. So it's not the best preparation, but we need to go into it with the same type of confidence that we've had in the past few games. We were on a wee good run of form, just coming into a good wee run of form. Obviously the last game being that 3-2 away win at Queen of the South, who are really doing terribly this season. I mean, Alan Johnson, what's happened to you? What has happened to you? But aye, that was our last game, and we won that in fantastic style with that sort of late winner that we were all kind of hoping for in that game. We didn't want it to be another draw at Palmerston Park, and it wasn't. It showed great mentality for the team, and before that we'd had wins against the likes of Dundee, etc. at East End Park. It's a good run of form we were in, and I hope that we can continue that, despite the fact that, as I said, it has been about 3.5 weeks coming up, so it'll be difficult. It will be difficult to transform 3.5 week ago's form into right now. I just hope that bounce games that we've had and training has been at a very good level still, and that we're not going to come into this looking a bit leggy because we've barely played any games. I want us to come out, it's East End Park, we need to make it a bit of a fortress again and get back to making sure we get the most important points to us. And with how tight this league is, every game's pretty much just as important as the rest, but these games, specifically to me, I really want 3 points. I don't want a draw. Despite the fact a draw would probably be okay, I want 3 points because it just makes you feel so much better about it all. Looking at that league table and seeing your team within just a couple of points of the rest of them, rather than maybe a couple of points more off them, like 3 or 4 instead of 1 or 2. It's just that wee minuscule difference that I think will be the be all and end all with some teams making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. That's what my personal opinion on it is. I want 3 points and I just want us to continue that really good home form that we had in earlier parts of this season. And then it is this colour coming up. Even though that's a wee bit orange, it's the Tangerines, as I mentioned previously, coming up at the weekend. It's the fixture that Dunfermline fans pretty much dread because we never get a result against Dundee United. We've had 1 win in probably about 9 years, both away and at home. And at home it's even worse. I think it's something like coming up 13 years or something like that. It's crazy. It's a crazy record that we've got without a win. And obviously you'd be absolutely delighted if we pulled that off this weekend. But as I said, I kind of write these fixtures off before you come into them because of just how bad the record's been. There's no point in building up your hopes for this kind of fixture, considering it's been so consistently bad for year on year on year now. I know we didn't play Dundee United for a good amount of years, but we've played them so much in the last, 4 or 5 years coming up, and we've failed to really capitalise on any positions that we've been in against them. We've played them in playoffs, we've played them in cups, we've played them at the league, and as I said, we've only got that 1 win under our belts, which I did vlog, and I'm sure some of you will remember that. Here's a wee refresher if you don't. So despite the fact that it's at East End Park, I am looking for scenes similar to that this weekend, albeit I'm saying I'm sort of writing the fixture off, but the ideal scenario, you've got to keep the ideal scenario in your head, is that Dunfermline come out, winners of this game, for once, and get a surprise 3 points. I will take a point in this game. Unlike the Inverness game, I would take a point at home at Dundee United, and again it's just because of that poor record we've got. It just comes with the nature of this game. A game against Inverness, we have won in previous times, so I feel like 3 points isn't the most ludicrous thing to hope for. But against Dundee United, because of the poor record, I just think that 3 points is maybe a bit too much to go in expecting to get, so a point would be acceptable. But aye, that's it for this video guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below your thoughts for both these games. How many points will Dunfermline Athletic take from these 2 games versus Inverness and Dundee United, both at East End Park? Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers guys.